What if the very thing your doctor told you to do for healthy aging, walking every single day, is actually leaving you more vulnerable to falls, circulation problems, and losing your independence? I know that sounds completely backwards, but stick with me here, because what I'm about to share changed everything I thought I knew about staying strong after 60. And honestly, it might be the most important 10 minutes you spend today. Here's the thing, walking is good for you, let's get that straight right now, but there's something happening in your body that almost nobody talks about, and it's connected to one specific area that controls way more than you think. Your glutes, your butt muscles. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, here we go with some fitness guru nonsense, hear me out. But because a study from the University of Waterloo in 2019 discovered something that shocked even more veteran physical therapists. When people walk normally, the way most of us do every day, only about 32% of the gluteus maximus activates. That's less than a third of your body's largest, most powerful muscle. And here's the kicker that nobody saw coming. The researchers followed people who walked religiously for years. We're talking dedicated daily walkers. And you know what they found? These people continue to lose muscle stability, hip strength, and protective power, even though they thought they were doing everything right. But here's what really matters, and why this connects to something even more serious than just muscle loss. Your glutes aren't just about having a nice looking backside or being able to climb stairs easier. They're directly connected to your circulation, your balance, and honestly, your ability to live independently as you age. Let me explain this in a way that'll make sense. Think of your glutes like a pump, a really, really important pump. When these muscles contract fully, and I mean fully, not the weak 32% activation you get from casual walking, they squeeze blood vessels in a way that pushes blood back up from your legs toward your heart. This is huge for people over 50 or 60. See, as we age, that return circulation from our lower body gets sluggish. It's why so many older adults deal with cold feet, leg swelling, that heavy feeling in their calves at the end of the day, or even restless legs at night. Your heart is pumping blood down just fine, but getting it back up, that's where things get tricky. And weak glutes make this circulation problem so much worse. But it doesn't stop there. Weak glutes also mean your knees take more impact because your hips can't stabilize properly. Your lower back compensates and ends up chronically tight or painful. Your balance suffers because the muscles that should be steadying you are, well, basically asleep. You're way more likely to fall. And we all know what that can mean after 60. A fall isn't just a fall anymore. It's often the beginning of a downward spiral. Now here's where it gets interesting and maybe a little frustrating. Most doctors will tell you to walk more. Physical therapists recommend squats. Everyone says stay active. And look, they're not wrong. But here's what they're missing. Why squats aren't always the answer. You've probably heard that squats are the king of lower body exercises. They're supposed to build those glutes, strengthen your legs, keep you functional. And for some people, sure, they work great, but let me tell you something that might surprise you. For most people over 60, especially if you've been inactive for a while or dealing with knee issues, squats can actually do more harm than good. Here's why. When you squat, especially if your glutes are already weak, your body cheats. It shifts the load to your knees and your lower back instead of your glutes doing the work. So you think you're building your butt muscles, but really you're just grinding down your knee joints and straining your spine. Plus, squats require a level of mobility that a lot of people over 60 just don't have anymore. Their hip flexors are tight from years of sitting. Ankles don't have the range of motion they used to. And trying to force a deep squat with these limitations, that's a recipe for injury, not strength. I've seen it happen over and over again. Someone gets motivated, starts doing squats, feels that burn in their thighs and thinks, yes, this is working. But 2 weeks later, their knees are screaming, their back is tweaked, and they give up completely. So what's the solution? Well, this is where things get really practical. There are 4 to 5 specific exercises that target your glutes way better than squats ever could. They're safer for aging joints, and, here's the beautiful part, they also supercharge that leg circulation we talked about. These aren't complicated. You don't need a gym membership. And most of them you can do while watching TV or even during commercial breaks. But the impact, it's honestly kind of remarkable. Let me walk you through them. And I want you to pay close attention because I'm going to explain why each one works, not just how to do it. That way you'll understand what's happening in your body and you'll actually stick with it. The 4 essential glute exercises. Exercise number 1. Glute bridges. This is hands down the best exercise for waking up dormant glute muscles, and it's completely joint friendly. Here's how you do it. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Your arms rest at your sides. Now, push through your heels and lift your hips toward the ceiling. At the top, squeeze your butt like you're trying to hold a coin between your cheeks. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then lower back down slowly. That's 1 rep. But here's the key detail most people miss. At the top of that bridge, your body should form a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. If your lower back is arching, you're going too high and your back is taking over. Dial it back a bit. Why this works so well? When you do a glute bridge, you're activating around 65 to 70% of your gluteus maximus. That's more than double what walking gives you. And because you're lying down, there's 0 stress on your knees. Your back is supported by the floor. It's pure glute activation with almost no risk of injury. Start with 10 to 12 reps. Do 2 to 3 sets. Once that feels easy, hold at the top for 5 seconds instead of 2. Or put a resistance band around your knees to add a little challenge. And start 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. And here's something cool. Every time you squeeze those glutes at the top, you're also squeezing those deep blood vessels, pushing circulation back up from your legs. It's like giving your cardiovascular system a little boost with every rep. Exercise number 2. Side-lying leg lifts, clamshells. This one targets your gluteus medius, which is the often forgotten middle glute muscle that's absolutely critical for hip stability and balance. Here's the setup. Lie on your side with your knees bent at about 90 degrees, stacked on top of each other. Your head rests on your arm and your hips are stacked too, don't let them roll back. Now, keeping your feet together, lift your top knee up like you're opening a clamshell. Lift as high as you can without rotating your hips backward. Pause at the top for a second, then lower back down with control. Why does this matter so much? Your gluteus medius is what stops your hip from dropping when you stand on one leg. Every time you walk, one leg is in the air while the other supports you. If your glute medius is weak, your hip drops, but your knee caves inward and you become unstable. This is the exercise that prevents falls. I'm serious. Physical therapists who work with fall prevention programs put this exercise at the top of their list. It's that important. Do 12 to 15 reps on each side, 2 to 3 sets. And if it feels too easy, you can add an ankle weight or loop a resistance band above your knees. Exercise number 3, standing hip extensions. Now we're going to stand up for this one, but don't worry. You can hold onto a counter or a chair back for a balance. Here's how. Stand facing a counter or the back of a sturdy chair. Hold on lightly with both hands, not white-knuckling it, just for balance. Shift your weight onto one leg. Now, keeping your standing legs slightly soft, not locked, extend your other leg straight back behind you. The key, don't arch your back. The movement should come from your hip, not from leaning forward. Squeeze your glute at the back of the movement, pause, then bring your leg back to the starting position. That's 1 rep. This exercise is sneaky good because it trains your glutes to work while you're standing, which is how you actually use them in real life. Walking, getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, all of that requires glutes that can fire while you're upright. And here's the circulation bonus. When you extend your leg back and squeeze, you're contracting the glutes in a lengthened position. This creates a powerful pumping action that moves blood through the gluteal arteries and veins like a pressure wave. Over time, this improves the vascular tone in your hips and upper legs. Do 10 to 12 reps per leg, 2 sets minimum. At exercise number 4, step-ups, the gentle version. Okay, this one requires a small step or a sturdy box, something about 6 to 8 inches high to start. If you don't have that, you can use the bottom step of a staircase. Here's how to do it right. Stand facing your step. Place one foot completely on the step, heel, midfoot, everything. Now, push through that heel to lift yourself up onto the step. The key word is push. You're not pulling yourself up with momentum or using your back leg to jump. You're pressing down through the heel of your top foot and letting your glute do all the work. Step up, stand tall, then slowly lower back down. Why this is better than regular squats for most people over 60. Step-ups are single-leg dominant, meaning each glute has to work independently. This fixes imbalances because, let's be honest, most of us have one side that's stronger, plus the range of motion is adjustable. If 6 inches feels good, great. If you need to start with 4 inches, that's fine too. You're in control. And functionally, this mimics getting into a car, climbing stairs, stepping over obstacles. It's incredibly practical. Do 8 to 10 reps per leg, 2 to 3 sets. As you get stronger, you can increase the height of your step, but never sacrifice form for height. Better to do a perfect 6-inch step up than a sloppy 12-inch one. Bonus, exercise number 5, seated hip flexor, stretch to glute activation combo. This one's a little different. It's not just about building strength. It's about unlocking the strength you already have. Here's the deal. Most of us have incredibly tight hip flexors from sitting, and those tight hip flexors literally turn off your glutes through something called reciprocal inhibition. It's a neurological trick your body plays. When one muscle group is tight and shortened, the opposite group shuts down to protect you. So before you can fully activate your glutes, you need to release those hip flexors. Get into a kneeling lunge position, back knee on the ground, put a pillow under it if you need to, front foot flat. Now gently push your hips forward until you feel a stretch in the front of your back hip. Hold for 30 seconds, breathing deeply. Then while you're in that stretch position, squeeze your back glute hard. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. Repeat 5 times. This combo of stretching the hip flexor and immediately activating the glute rewires that neurological connection. And it literally teaches your body to wake up those muscles again. Do this daily if you can, especially if you sit a lot. Alright, so we've covered the exercises, but let's circle back to that circulation issue we talked about at the beginning, because this is where everything comes together. Remember how I said weak glutes affect your circulation? Here's the deeper science. Your glutes contain some of the largest muscle bellies in your body. When these muscles contract forcefully, like they do in bridges, step-ups, and hip extensions, they compress the veins and lymphatic vessels running through your hips and upper thighs. This compression acts like a pump and it pushes blood that's been pooling in your lower legs back up toward your heart against gravity. It's called the muscle pump mechanism, and it's one of the most important circulatory assists your body has. But here's what happens when your glutes are weak. That pump barely works. Blood pools in your lower legs and you get swelling heaviness, that restless feeling at night. Over time, this can contribute to varicose veins, chronic venous insufficiency, and even increase your risk for blood clots in severe cases. Strengthening your glutes doesn't just make you more stable or help you get out of a chair easier. It literally improves your cardiovascular health from the ground up. One study from the Journal of Vascular Surgery found that patients over 60 who performed regular resistance exercises targeting the glutes and hamstring showed a 23% improvement in venous return after just 8 weeks. That's not a small number. That's significant, measurable change in how efficiently your body moves blood. So when you do these exercises, glute bridges, clamshells, hips extensions, step-ups, you're not just working out. You're literally improving your circulation with every rep. Look, I get it. You've probably heard a million times that you need to stay active or keep moving as you age. And yes, walking is great. Don't stop walking. But if you really want to protect your independence, prevent falls, improve your circulation, and keep your body strong and capable well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, you need to go beyond just walking. You need to intentionally wake up those glute muscles that modern life has put to sleep. The 4 exercises I just showed you. 1. Glute bridges. For maximum activation and circulation boost. 2. Side-lying leg lifts for hip stability and fall prevention. 3. Standing hip extensions for functional strength in real-life positions. 4. Step-ups for single leg power and practical movement. These aren't complicated, they don't take a lot of time, but they work. Start with 2 to 3 times per week. Give yourself rest days in between, and within a few weeks you're going to notice things. Stairs feel easier. Your legs feel lighter at the end of the day, and getting up from a chair doesn't require a little push-off anymore. Your balance just feels more solid. And maybe most importantly, you'll have that confidence that comes from knowing your body can handle whatever life throws at it. So here's what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 4 exercises you're going to start with. Or if you've tried any of them already, let me know how it went. I read every single comment and I love hearing your stories. And if you found this helpful, if this information genuinely changed how you think about staying strong after 60, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I put out videos like this every week that give you real, practical, science-backed information that actually helps. Not fluff, not fear-mongering, just stuff that works. Thanks for watching. Now go wake up those glutes. Your future self will thank you for it.